Hello, and welcome to Surviving the Narcissist. I'm your host, Wanda, and the purpose of this channel is to help you survive being in relationship with a narcissist. And when I say narcissist, I'm not diagnosing them as a narcissistic personality disorder. I'm saying their behavior is narcissistic. They behave in certain ways and patterns. And the reason why I know so much about that is because I am a narcissistic abuse survivor. And I went from being a survivor to a thriver, and now I'm an overcomer. And I want to help you because I know how difficult it is to deal with the smear campaigns, the flying monkeys, the gaslighting, and all the different behaviors that narcissists do to us. So, this week's episode, I'm just going to do a little introduction because for people that are in, recovery or came out of traumatic backgrounds, this is what is referred to as hurricane season. Hurricane season is Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's because those are relationships that are characterized by being family oriented, getting together, celebrating, and most of the time through those activities, you're going to come in contact with a person that has narcissistic behavior. So we're going to look at a narcissistic, it's kind of like a red flag to kind of gauge if you're the person that you're involved in or somebody in your family is a narcissist or narcissistic behavior. Because I want to make sure that we understand that we don't go around diagnosing people. I'm not a psychologist. I'm a licensed, certified life coach, and I also have a degree in social work. And I have experience working with these types of persons professionally, in addition to my personal challenges being the black sheep of the family, the target of narcissistic abuse. So, a lot of times, if you meet a narcissist, one of the red flags that you should look out for is that they're very status oriented. Their image is everything to them. They may act, if you meet somebody, the soulmate scam. They want to rush intimacy, uh, calling excessively. Also, they're chronic liars and they're reckless and impulsive. Other patterns to watch for, you might just have a feeling that something's wrong with the person's behavior. No regard for rules or laws. They demand trust. I don't trust people that can't look me in my eye. I don't trust people. So they're always starting with the gaslighting, but that'll be another video. Um, Poor financial management, cheating. You feel that you might be in danger. When you're around them, you get an eerie feeling. They may hang around people that are real seedy or suspect. Um, Confusion. They're always changing their stories, which is part of chronic lying because they can't remember what lie they told. And you're like, well, wait a minute. You said um, they're intrusive and controlling. Some of the intrusive and controlling, excessive calling. Um, they call and say good morning. They call you at lunchtime. What are you eating for lunch? They call you, I just want to make sure you get home okay. And so And if you're just meeting somebody, or if you've been in a long-term relationship, if somebody's calling you 4 or 5 times a day, that's intrusive and controlling. Double standards. You can't do things that they can do. Um, Alcohol and drug use. Don't take responsibility for themselves. If you're around them and you feel like you're walking on eggshells, you can't be yourself because you don't know when they might explode in anger. Your feelings and emotions are not validated or allowed. Your words are used against you. Twist words and arguments. Uses your friends and families as flying monkeys. And flying monkeys help the narcissist. They find people to help them with their smear campaign or with their gaslighting. Points out your imperfections. They know how to push your buttons. Love bombing, which goes along with the excessive attention and affection. Uses jokes to insult you and wear you down. They'll say, "Oh, I was just playing. I was just playing." Face bombing. They attach themselves to your friends on Facebook. You find yourself looking up what a narcissist is. They withhold attention as manipulation. That's the silent treatment. Personality traits. They have a big ego. They like to be the center of attention. Entitled, self-centered, craves power and control. If you have children, they use the children as pawns. Great actors taking on the role we call masks. They're one way in public, they're one way at home, they're one way on their job, they're one way at church. Um, they have few personal possessions because they're basically users. So they basically use other people's things. So if they pretend like you're their best friend, then they're over your house. So they don't really need anything. They're over at your house. They're watching your cable. They're watching your television. They're eating your food. They're using your lights. Um, Move on quickly. They're good for ghosting people. So if you don't give them what they want, which is called narcissistic supply, if you don't supply them with what they want, then they'll move on. They do not like parties for others because they are not the center of attention. Slandering you, that's a smear campaign. Belittle your accomplishments. They accuse you of things that you didn't do. So what happens when they do that? They're doing that because you were targeted. You're targeted as good supply, which they call narcissistic supply. Um, Mirror back at you what you are looking for. That's why you have to be careful with information because they might say, "Well, what are you looking for in a relationship? What are you looking for in a church? What are you looking for in a job? If you could have your dream job, what would it be?" And then once you tell them, that's what they tell you that is. They're chronic liars. They're manipulators. And then once you get into the situation, it changes. uh, manage down expectations. So if you expect things, whatever expect things from them, it's going to be the total opposite. Use guilt and pity ploys, or like I said, this is what had happened. So it's always going to be a long story, but at the end of the story, they're the victim. So if you have pity for them, then that's an opportunity for them to use you for whatever they're trying to get from. They like to isolate you because they want to keep you separated from people that are healthier. Because if you're around people that's healthier, you can see the contrast. And you can see that, wait a minute, if I'm with this person or in this situation, I have more freedom. I can be myself. I don't have to walk on eggshells. But when I'm around this person, I have to change to meet their expectations. And this is some of the red flags that you're in a relationship with a narcissist. And during the holiday, all these behaviors get worse because of the fact you're going to be around a lot of people you might only see once a year. You only see them on holidays. You only see them on Christmas. You only see them on New Year's. You only see them on Thanksgiving. So there's a lot of expectations. And the narcissist does not like to look bad. They want to be the center of attention. And you're just a pawn or a puppet. And that's why during the hurricane season, there's an increase in mental health crisis. There's an increase in substance use. There's an increase in overdoses. It's an increase in people relapsing because just in general, the holidays are stressful. And then if you're doing holidays with a narcissistic family or a narcissistic person, that is extra stress. And this, as I close, in future videos, I'm going to talk more about specific symptoms or behaviors and things that you can do to protect yourself. If you're interested in learning more about me, I do life coaching and I'm a narcissistic survivor, narcissistic abuse survivor. Please visit my website, www.visionofrecovery.com. I offer a free 15-minute consultation to see if you want to work with me as a coach one-on-one. Particularly if you're in the middle of a smear campaign, or you have a narcissistic family, or you're being isolated. Because if you work with a coach, it's one-on-one, it's anonymous, and we work for you. And so you're a narcissistic, the person that's abusing you or the narcissist that's in your life doesn't have to know unless they manipulate and tell you, or with things that narcissists do. If they manipulate you and you tell them, or if they go through your personal papers and they find out, but they won't find out from me because I'm a narcissistic abuse survivor. And until next time, be blessed.